Hey everybody, I'm ZeldaMaster, and in this video I want to talk about some of the changes Nintendo's making with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild compared to every other Zelda title within the series. And what I mean by that is, well, if you've been up to date with Breath of the Wild so far and have played any other Zelda game prior to it, you would notice a lot of differences between the two. And this is no surprise, of course, since Breath of the Wild's concept was first revealed to us by Nintendo way back in the Wii U Direct of 2013, Nintendo has said that their mission is to rethink the conventions of Zelda. So this is no surprise, you know, Nintendo wants to finally break the mold of Zelda and do something new, update it, give us something that we haven't seen in the Zelda series so far, and so far what we've seen of Breath of the Wild is a lot of that, and I want to go over some of this stuff because, yeah, I'm just overall excited that Nintendo is trying to rethink the conventions of Zelda, and they've done it, of course. I mean, that was way back in 2013, and it seems that they're delivering with this because, yeah, a lot has changed, and I'm going to go over some of these small things that have been like a staple in every other Zelda game that isn't in Breath of the Wild, and it overall feels kind of weird for it not to be in Breath of the Wild. So to start off, and I want to say this is like one of the biggest things that caught my surprise way back when we first saw gameplay during the Nintendo E3 of 2016, because that was all about Breath of the Wild. You know, I was there, I was able to play it. Yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for next year's E3. Hopefully, Nintendo invites me again, and I'm able to play whatever they have to offer. It's not going to be Breath of the Wild, but whatever. Okay, to get to the point, yeah. Something I've noticed, and something I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed, and it's been so iconic in every Zelda game, and you literally, since the very first Zelda game, let me just explain how it first happened and how we first saw it. Well, not me particular, but anyone who played the very first Zelda game as their very first Zelda game within the series entirely. But when you walk into the cave and, you know, it's too dangerous to go alone in the original Legend of Zelda, you must take this, and the old man gives you a sword. And you pick up the sword and you see Link holds it above his head and you hear that little jingle. And ever since then, that has been a staple in every Zelda game. When Link picks up an item, he has to show it to the screen, like to the player, letting you know that he picked up something valuable. And it plays that little, you know, item fanfare jingle when you pick up an item. And yeah, it's always been goofy, but at the same time, it seems so rewarding to see Link do that. And in Breath of the Wild, that doesn't even exist in the game, and it's so weird because when you see Link pick up an item, you just see the item info and all of that just like pop up on the screen. Though you do hear the little jingle, which I appreciate, that's it. And as much as, you know, I'm not like upset that it's removed or anything, because I bet there's going to be so many items to pick up within the game that if they had some sort of animation, it would get annoying. But I feel like in general, that might not be the reason why Nintendo is removing it. Maybe just Nintendo thinks it's a little silly for Link to still be doing that, like holding the item. Overall, I like it though, and I hope, you know, it doesn't get removed from Zelda entirely. But in Breath of the Wild, it doesn't seem to exist at all. And on top of that, Link isn't in a green tunic, which has been a staple as well in every single Zelda game. Though Link doesn't start out in some of the Zelda games in his green attire, he eventually gets it and, you know, is known as the hero in green. We all know Link for being the hero in green, and now in Breath of the Wild, he's more so the hero in blue, as well as Zelda and everyone else that's wearing the scarves and whatnot. So clearly blue seems to be the main color in this game, especially with the Sheikah aura being blue as well, and with Nintendo describing how the Sheikah aura is what covered the land of Hyrule in peace and whatnot. You know, it was used as a metaphor to where the Sheikah's blue aura was peaceful in a sense. So yeah, blue seems to be the main color of this game, and red is obviously the evil color. But overall, yeah, it's kind of weird because, yeah, Link isn't going to be in a green tunic. Maybe we will get it later on within the game, but we're not entirely sure. In general, Link is not advertised on the box with the green tunic, and at all. Like, we might not know, he might not get it. I believe the champion tunic is going to be like the main set of clothes, because that's what Link is advertised in. So that's another thing Nintendo is changing with Zelda. He's no longer the hero in green. Maybe I'll be proven wrong later in Breath of the Wild. We might pick it up like when we pick up the sword, or I don't know, something. That would be cool. To be an awesome plot twist, and I want to be proven wrong. I would like Link to stay as the hero in green, but if he doesn't in Breath of the Wild, I'm fine with that, okay? I'll live, guys, don't worry, I will live. Anyways, another thing that they also have added in this game that has never been in Zelda is Link can actually equip various different weapons and overall put on different attire throughout the game, and I guess that kind of falls with the last thing, you know, Link not being in green. Well, now Link can wear anything he wants. He can wear armor, he can wear the champion's tunic, he can pretty much be naked if he wants to, you know, just in his like boxers if needed. But overall, yeah, you're pretty much able to customize Link with however you want. He doesn't need a hat, he doesn't need any of that. Now remember, way back in the E3 gameplay, they showed Link with a different hairstyle. I really hope that still stays. Yes, I didn't forget about it, Nintendo. You better keep a different hairstyle for Link, hopefully, in the future, because that'd be awesome if you can also edit Link's hairstyle throughout the game as well. It would add to the fact that you can also wear different armors and whatnot. But yeah, and on top of that, you can also have different weapons, which I mentioned, and that is also huge within The Legend of Zelda, because, like, both weapons and attire have always been so little if they even were able to be changed within Zelda. Like, I want to say Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time were the only two games where you could, like, swap between your weapons and attire at any given moment. I don't think any other Zelda game really had that, because every other Zelda game you'd kind of like upgrade your sword, and you never really were able to switch your green tunic to anything else. But in Ocarina of Time, we were given the red and blue tunic. It still looked the same, it was just different colors, and they didn't really do much. And then in Twilight Princess, I would say Nintendo maybe was starting to add more to it. You know, you weren't given a tunic. Link was given Zora armor as well as magic armor, and they looked a lot different than the tunic Link wears, so it made Link look a lot different, and have added something new to the game, because we're always used to Link just wearing a tunic. Even if it's not in the exact green color, it could be red, it could be blue, it could be whatever, but he's always in a tunic, so it's cool to see Link not in a tunic, and now Link isn't in a tunic at all, so that's kind of weird. But anyways, aside from Link's attire and whatnot, we also have voice acting, which is something I don't think we ever seen coming into Zelda. I feel like a lot of people would have been upset if Zelda ever did a game with like full voice acting, because at least for me, I don't really care. Like, you could give the characters voices, you could not. I'll be happy with both. You know, I'll read the dialogue, and if they have a voice, if they don't have a voice, I'll give them a voice. Overall, I felt like the grunts the characters makes kind of gives you an idea of how their voice might sound, at least the characters that do make some sort of noise, because Zelda does have minimal voice acting, just like stuff like that, weird noises, that's it. But now we're getting actual dialogue, which is really cool. Actually, no, what am I saying? Wind Waker had technically voice acting with Beetle saying thank you and goodbye or whatever. So yeah, finally more voice acting in Zelda. You know, I appreciated it with Beetle, but now I'm happy that we're getting more in. Yeah, it's something new that hasn't been in Zelda, and I feel like maybe some people might not be a fan of. Let me know if you are a fan of voice acting. For me, I'm excited for it, but I could care less if it never made it into the game. I like voice acting. It doesn't have to have voice acting, though. I can still enjoy the game with just his dialogue. But on top of that, there's another thing, and this is something that is going to make me really happy, and I want to say any other like video content creator for, you know, who makes Legend of Zelda type videos. If you want to make Breath of the Wild videos and just have them look as clean as possible, well, you're going to be able to do that in the sense that you can actually remove your HUD. Yes, your HUD, you can completely get rid of it if wanted. Now, I'm not entirely sure, that isn't confirmed, but we've seen gameplay without the HUD whatsoever on the screen, and in a leaked screenshot that I believe someone took, you know, when someone was playing the demo. I'm gonna get a chance to get my hands on the Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild's demo on the 18th, and Nintendo has invited me, so really excited. And yeah, huge thanks to Nintendo for inviting me for this. It will be in Chicago, so if you happen to be going, you know, just know I'll be there. But anyways, back to the point of the video. I just want to mention that yes, there was a screenshot that surfaced of the option menu, and you can see the HUD mode, and it says normal. Obviously, I'm sure that means like you could see the hearts, you could see the map, you could see like certain things like that. But maybe you can make it much more minimal. You could like maybe remove everything but your hearts, and maybe you could just remove your hearts entirely to where there's nothing on the screen at all. It's completely uncluttered, and it would make for really nice footage overall. I mean, that's the footage I usually look forward to when making videos like this or anything, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so hopefully we can remove the HUD. That has been a feature in a lot of games, including Dark Souls, which I enjoy. I usually have the HUD never appear while I'm playing the game. It feels like I'm playing some sort of cinematic movie, so I feel like it's gonna add that cinematic vibe to Breath of the Wild if we can remove the HUD. So yeah, most likely will be a feature, or in general just being able to edit the HUD I think is really cool. Another thing is the fact that you can jump. Has anyone forgotten that? Like, yeah, Link can actually jump. That's never been in a Zelda game as well, so that is really exciting. And then as well as we're gonna have every single race in the Zelda game. Like, Nintendo wants to go all out. We're seeing the Gerudo, we're seeing the Gorons, we're seeing the Zoras, we're seeing the freaking Rito as well. We're seeing the Korok, we're seeing the Great Deku Tree. Like, even iconic characters like that are making their way into the game. Like, this feels like a mashup of everything Zelda into one, but at the same time with a lot of new conventions rethinked. And yeah, it's just gonna be a whole out crazy Zelda game that will redefine the game, but at the same time bring so much nostalgia and so much, you know, old school things to it. And it's gonna be a masterpiece, pretty much. That's how I see the game. So yeah, I just thought, you know, I'd make this video kind of talk about all of these little changes they're adding within the game. And also, actually, another thing I completely forgot about is the fact that we're going to have Adventure Log, which is something that has never been in Zelda. And what is that, to be exact, is pretty much like your quest log. Like, you can see all of the quests you've done, what you have to do, and it will mark them whether it's done or not. And that's something I feel like Zelda needed for a while, especially with all of the side questing you do within the game. It's really easy to like lose track of something you've done before or haven't done. So it's hard to keep track of everything you're doing. And now with a little log that we can actually, you know, document everything we're doing, you know, we have an actual adventure log, it will add this sense of like organization and make it overall really easy to play through the game and know what you're supposed to do. So I'm really excited for that as well. And on top of that, there's some sort of memories thing where we can have recovered memories. And I have a feeling that that might be the cutscenes that will play, like really intense cutscenes that we can rewatch. I really hope that that is the case, like maybe pre-rendered cutscenes, similar to the cutscenes we've seen in the trailers, but in the game, of course. And if you want to rewatch them, you just have to visit these memories. And the reason why I say they're most likely going to be cutscenes is because if you look at the memory icon, you see a little film roll. So yeah, most likely it's just going to be like flashbacks of previous cutscenes. That has also been in Zelda games. Or, no, wow, it has never been in Zelda games, but it's been in other games, and I've always enjoyed games that let you rewatch some of the cutscenes, because, yeah, it'd be nice to not have to replay through the whole game to watch an epic moment again. It's nice to be able to revisit them in some sort of way, so that's something I'm also really looking forward to, but it's not confirmed. All I know is it's some sort of recovered memory that we can look at in our log, and I really hope that they add more to it, but we really don't know. Also, this completely slipped my mind, but this is one of the biggest changes within the game, and that is Link can climb anything. Literally, he is like Spider-Man. He's able to climb anything he sees and get on top of it, and that is something we've never seen in Zelda. I mean, you were restricted to a lot of things. A lot of things were pretty much like out of bound that you could never reach, and now everything you see, you can climb up and reach it. So that is also something much different and very unique, something that I've wanted in any video game, to be exact. It always sucks to see something in the distance and not be able to get to it, just knowing it's some sort of background to the level. But in this game, they remove that, and that is a huge thing. But I feel like that is not only like a huge difference with Zelda games, but it's a huge difference with a lot of games, something I'm just overall really looking forward to as a video game mechanic. Anyways, there we go. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover. I kind of just wrote down some of the differences I've noticed with Breath of the Wild, and I thought I'd make this video to kind of talk about them and see what you guys think of this in general. I'm just can't help but like want to talk about this game as much as possible and keep hyping it up for its release, because yeah, real soon. I mean, tomorrow marks 27 days until the game is out, and yeah, I just can't wait. So we're close, and you know, less than a month. I can't wait for it, you know, full let's play, a bunch of content when the game comes out, and until it comes out, I'm gonna keep making videos like this just to keep the hype going, because yeah, I'm just really excited for Breath of the Wild. So if there's anything you want me to talk about in a future video, like discuss with Breath of the Wild or anything Zelda related, let me know in the comments and I might tackle it in a future video. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. I've been ZeldaMaster, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!